आवाज आ रही है ये फोनोग्राफ से, ढूंढो खुदा को दिल से ना लाफो गजाफ से।
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to another captivating episode of Future of Work on MTA Africa. I am Abdul Qadir Ismail Uluagbeminga, your favorite host. Today, we're diving into a topic that's as tangible as it is transformative: the physical workspace of the future. Imagine walking into an office that adapts to your needs, enhances your productivity, and supports your well-being. The physical workspace is no longer just a space where we perform tasks. It's evolving into an ecosystem designed to foster creativity, collaboration, and innovation. According to a recent study by Gensler, a leading design and architectural firm, well-designed workspace can significantly improve productivity and employee satisfaction. With advancements in technology, our work environments are being reimagined in ways we couldn't have envisioned a decade ago. From smart buildings equipped with IoT sensors to flexible spaces that accommodate both in-person and remote workers, the future workspace is all about agility and adaptability. In today's episode, we'll explore how companies are redesigning their offices to meet the demands of a new era and the rise of co-working spaces that promote community and networking. Joining the discussion in the studio, I have a professional in project management and service delivery under the telecommunication industry. He has about 19 years experience in tech industry, and he currently works for a multinational company, Abdul Fattah Bello Sahib. Abdul Fattah Sahib, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me here today.
Alhamdulillah. I also have joining us virtually a registered professional in the real estate and construction industry with over a decade of experience driving innovation and success across multiple disciplines, including quantity surveying, facility management, commercial management, and project management. Half a decade ago, he began his transition into tech and is now a data engineer and an AI consultant, where he continues to learn and apply his skills to shape the future of the workplace. Yaqeen Habibullah. Habibullah Sahib.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum
Thank you for having
assalam wa
me on the program.
rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. You are indeed welcome to this show. Viewers, before we continue in this very enlightening discussion, let us listen to what the viewers on the street have to say about how the future of the workspace would look, especially in terms of the physical workspace.
The future workplace that will promote collaboration and flexibility will start from the concept, from the approach of policy. We have to have policy in the workplace that supports a flexible and remote work setting. Because when we say remote work setting, we are talking of the fact that you can work from anywhere and your recipient or your audience can be reached easily.
Workplaces can provide the mental health resources and services such as counseling, therapy, and others, just to ensure the effective management of the employees of every workplaces. Opening communication is another way by which workplaces can promote and prioritize the well-being and mental health of their employees. By this, I mean that there should be an open communication environment where employees can freely express themselves without the fear of being stigmatized.
Yes, indeed, the physical workspace is going dynamic. In fact, we are living in the future already, and we can see different things we could not see a decade ago. And definitely, by the next decade, we're going to be seeing a lot of very different things. Afata Sahib. So, the physical workspace has continued to improve over time. It has continued to change over time. So, can you please tell us, according to your experience, how has the physical workspace, how has the design of the workspace changed over the years?
For me, office design, the physical workspace is basically related to the office design. And office design plus the personality, cultural, has actually changed from the traditional closed space model to the modern technology now. In the modern technology, it's more like people working remotely, people connected and using technology to collaborate and get their jobs done.
Mm.
So technology has actually shaping the way we work now. It's more of working remotely than the way it used to be where we used to work more physically in an enclosed space.
Okay, so what it means is the modern workspace is not just limited to the ones we can see physically. We even have the workspace uh, in the virtual spaces. The technology has also improved the workspace. But when we talk about the ones we can see, the walk-in workspaces, how do you think the design has shifted over years?
So post-COVID, most employers have actually embraced hybrid work, a situation whereby they don't fully work physically in the office and they work remotely. And I could recall far back as 10 years ago, there is a particular term they call SOHO, small office, home office. So a lot of people are getting a space within their living room or within their living area whereby they, usually resume and do their work from it and connect remotely to their workspace.
So what it means is that previously we had a workspace that is confined where workers have to resume to their cubicles and how. However, right now in these days we have an open space where workers can collaborate easily and effectively. Also, the workspace, the physical workspace is moving from a confined area to a comfortable area where you can have your workspace even from in your own comfort zone in your homes or wherever place you feel comfortable for you, and you can work from anywhere at your own convenience. Mr. Habib Sahib, looking at your expertise and your experience in the field of real estate, construction, and building. So, what do you think are the key elements or factors that enhances a productive workspace?
All right, so thanks for that question. From my experience, the physical workspace of the future will be centered around employee satisfaction. You will recall that before COVID struck, we've had issue of work-life balance, right? Employees have always struggled with, balancing their personal life with their, job life. So when the pandemic struck, it showed organization that it is possible for employee to work from home. Hence, we have what we call remote work, or a sort of hybrid work. That started immediately after the COVID was lifted and all of that. So to look at the physical space, to look at the key elements, we must take into consideration the employee in question. One, the space must be flexible, enough to have some sort of adaptability, that will make it easy for in-office and remote work collaborating efforts, right? It must have a sort of wellness environment. For example, having a gym center, having some sports, sort of activities, having some sort of cafeteria, anything that will make you attract talent. You also recall that this similar discussion happened at the towards the millennium, 1998 to around 2000, when the internet just came about. People were also discussing that with the advent of internet, will office space, workspace be changing as well? And some of the things that brought as well is that it's only brought us a newer way of doing things. For example, laptops, where from mainframe computer to mini computers like laptops, and then phone, where you can easily access your email and all of that. So some of the key components, the workspace must be flexible, it must have recreational activities, and it must have technology to back it up, to allow for collaborative efforts between the in-office team and the remote office team.
So
as well.
what everything centers upon is the employee satisfaction. Everything that will make the employee feel relaxed, feel satisfied, and would enhance their productivity. Jazakumullah khairan, Habib Sahib. Afatah Sahib.
Yes.
So yes, we understand that the future workspace, or the physical workspace in the future, would center most importantly around the employee. What would enhance the employee satisfaction and improve their productivity. But during my introduction, I said that we live in the future already, because when we talk about the future of work, it is not something that is far-fetched. It's something that we already live in. It's something we already experience. So can you look at the present physical workspace, and do you think it promotes employees' well-being, or do you think it enhances the productivity of the employee?
Like Brother Abibullah said earlier, the physical workspace, the modern physical workspace is characterized by considering the well-being of its employees in so many ways. Let me start with, let's take it from the physical space itself, the tools, that is ergonomics, the chairs they sit in. In the modern physical offices, you have very comfortable chair, adjustable chair. Also, the way the laptop or the workstations are set properly in such a way that you don't have to strain your neck or strain your position before you get your work done. So the ergonomics part has actually helped. When you have a very good sitting position, it also promotes and also retain human posture. You understand? So that's the ergonomic part. Another part is the flexible working arrangement, whereby in modern physical workspace, employees has made work flexible, such a way that since you're working remotely, you can resume at a specific time and close at a specific time. So you have less stress in terms of commuting to your physical workspace. You can even have time for your children. Giving me for an example, since my nature of job is hybrid, I only go to work maybe twice or once in a week. So those 3 days that I'm usually at home, my family love having me around. Not that they disturb me while I'm working, but I don't have to commit to work. I also have to assist the family in getting the children set for school. And when I close for work, I'm easily accessible. So within this space of this modern physical workspace, it has even helped me to understand my children and my family more, such that I am satisfied. So the modern workspace has actually improved our well-being in general. Also, if you look at the workspace, you have to go to work. Most modern physical workspace now deal with having a quiet nature, having a place whereby that is not noisy, so that you can focus on the work and get things done quickly. When you also look at the color of the office environment and the aesthetics, for example, in the modern physical offices of these days, they in they bring in things like green nature, flowers. When you have more flowers and when you have more aesthetics like off-white colors, it helps to reduce pollutants in that office, and it also help in terms of in terms of um, increasing the oxygen rate within that office.
So what it means is the current physical workspace already bring into consideration different factors, from the ecology to the comfortability to everything that would improve your well-being while also improving your work-life balance.
Exactly.
So, Habib Sahib, understanding that truly the current physical workspace has continued to evolve, it has continued to improve, and it has continued to assist in improving employee satisfaction. So what are the key innovations you feel business owners or workers should take cognizance of while preparing the physical workspace in probably the next decade?
Okay, thank you for that question. If we take a look into history, we will see that the modern day office evolved from the medieval Renaissance era to the current state. There was a time when, for example, in Italy, Florissant, Italy, there's something they call the Uffizi Gallery. It's a space where the then Duke of Florence decided that all their staffs and the judicial member should be under one roof. That was the beginning of having, something similar to office. Now, the then Duke then wanted a sort of environment where he can have easy access to people working under him, right? Then from there, it moved into the British Empire now. They wanted a place where they could do paperwork, right? And then from there, it moved to eras where you now have suggestion of closed office from the British Empire. They are of the opinion that anybody that uses their, brain should have a closed office, such that when they are working, they won't be disturbed. And you can see that in modern day design. You will still see some managers have their separate offices, And then innovation came again where they said, okay, let's have an open office, where people can just, work. That came about during the industrial era, where you could now have mechanized process, and things like that. And then it came to a time where somebody now invented, instead of having large space office, why don't you have cubicles? Cubicle at that time was an innovation to that space. Give people the right to privacy so that they can concentrate a little bit rather than the open, general office. But and then somebody came up with another innovation and said, okay, they looked at the lifestyle of those people in cubicle, and they start noticing some chronic stresses and inconvenience. And then they innovated that again. But you will recall that during the 1998 period, when internet just struck, we had a lot of successful internet companies, And then they were building very large offices, similar to what we see today, with very nice designs, something that would appeal and then attract talents. That was the beginning of when we started seeing very lovely concept around offices. But since then, what are the innovations that has come? One, we are shifting from the fixed traditional layouts to flexible, adaptable spaces. What it means is that instead of having a particular space when you get to the office, it will be, you wouldn't have a particular laptop, for example, or system to work with. Anybody can use it because the hybrid structure we're taking. It's not every day you'll be coming to the office. You're not required to come to the office every day. So you're not required to also have a dedicated system. So we'll be seeing a shift from fixed traditional layout to a flexible, adaptable layout. As my colleague mentioned in the studio, the use of modular furniture, ergonomic designs, where if you have a desk, if you want to stand up, maybe you are tired, you can readjust that table to, up a little bit and stand up to stretch your back and things like that. Now we'll begin to see some sort of virtual and face-to-face collaboration between office space. So it means that for every corner, you have a collaborative space where you can have like your own mini studio, sort of, that you can have a sort of quick team collaboration meeting. Then under technology, we have innovations like 3D holographic video conferencing. It's new now, where you can have a full immersive virtual environment. You can see yourself as you are in the studio. It will look as if I'm in the studio with you. That's a full 3D holographic video conferencing. We're expecting to see that in the nearest future. We're also expecting to see AI-powered avatars, where you can have an avatar of yourself that can mimic you. After you've trained, that AI to certain way, it can mimic you. Then your avatar can represent you in your meetings and things like that. We are expecting to see such technology.
So what it means is we have quite a number of innovations that are coming in to reshape the workspace, and probably in the next decade, the current workspace that we see, that we feel as, oh, this is innovation, this is very good, might go into extinction, and we might not have this workspace again. We'll have a very different workspace, different from what we used to have in the past and what we currently have. Jazakumullah khairan, Habib Sahib. Pedro Sahib, what advice would you give workers or business owners who are looking to design a workspace?
Okay, in what advice that I would actually give to people that are designing the modern workspaces to consider some basic requirements. Number one is we were told when we were growing up that all work but no play makes Jack a dull boy. So the same thing implies to employees. All work but no play makes an employee dull and less productive. So in the workspace, in the modern workspace, people that are designing the modern workspace now should consider some basic plays that we call breakouts. Play areas. Breakout in the sense that when you're using the modern open office, let there be a particular place in an office, maybe like the kitchen, the lounge, such that when a particular employee is tired of or want to stretch, he can easily go to the kitchen or go to the lounge, you understand? And play area in terms of, okay, let me give you an instance. In my own office, it's I can say it's a modern office. There is a particular place in the office that we can play a game, ping pong game, snooker, so that it will actually relax you of the current or whatever office pressure you might be going through at a particular time. Also, there's like a dart. It helps your focus and it helps you to become mentally alert.
So what you are saying is, for anyone who is looking to design a workspace, it is key to put into consideration those things that would make the employee relax and probably more comfortable
and become eventually more productive.
Jazakumullahu khairan.
Barakallah.
Habib Sahib, please, what do you want to leave our viewers with? Your final words, please.
Yes, so the advice I'll be giving based on the research that we have from different research firms now, if you notice, there's been a number of vacancies in offices, workspace at the city center. So I'll be advising organizations to reduce the size of their office and have what we call in the commercial space hub and spoke. You have spaces that are closer to residential areas where your staffs are probably living, to have another small offices where they can have easy access to. Now with that, you have what's it called? The flexibility, that's the remote. So rather than working from home, they can work close to in offices that are close to where they live. So these are, these are part of the trend that is going on internationally. In Singapore, for example, their urban planner are working towards what we call the 5-minute work office, where your residential office and your office apartment are almost in the same building. So with that, people are more relaxed and they have easy access to their personal life and their job life as well. And then for the employees, I would advise that they leverage on the AI way that is currently going on. The more they learn about it, the more their productivity will be, because their AI will only enhance their productivity at the end of the day.
As we continue to live in a dynamic world where the workspace continues to change on a daily basis, we have to also be aware of the interaction, the human interaction. And when we think about the human interaction, the workspace plays a crucial role in this. Yes, people work from home, you do remote work, but the physical workspace must also enhance the productivity and satisfaction of all the workers, the employees, as well as even our customers. Enhances interaction, enhances communication, and enhances human relation. Jazakumullah khairan, Habib Sahib, for your time. Afata Sahib, we appreciate your time. We appreciate your efforts. We appreciate everything you have put in place to be here today. Viewers, the future workspace is going to be more dynamic than it is currently. However, it is going to get more interesting. And I'm sure you have learned a lot today. Jazakumullahu khairan for being with us on this show today. For comments, questions, and observations, do not hesitate to reach out to us via africa@mta.tv. Till we meet again on Future of Work, I remain your favorite host, Abdul Qadir Ismail Uluwagbemiga. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.
जब तक अमल नहीं है दिले पाको साफ से, जब तक अमल नहीं है दिले पाको साफ से, कमतर नहीं ये मशगला बुत के तवाफ से, कमतर नहीं ये मशगला बुत के तवाफ से।